I got this 2004 Seadoo GTX supercharged, and got a little problem with the solenoid right now, so we're going to be replacing that. It is hanging out in here. It is the tan piece that you see hanging out down there with the red cables on it. I think what we'll do is disconnect the battery, disconnect these cables that we have sitting down right here to try to make things a little easier to get to the bolts and nuts underneath of it. Take that off. I've got a replacement for it that I went to the dealer and picked up a new solenoid that was 45 bucks. I also ordered a cheap $12, $15 one off of Amazon, and we'll see how that looks just to compare, but this looks nice and well put together. It's got a serial number right up here. It's got good weight to it, and yeah, I'm hoping this works and solves my problem. We had a little bit of a problem with when you plug in the key, gauges light up, but all you get is the ticking noise. Now if I run my screwdriver down here and make the connection on the solenoid, it cranks over. So after a couple sparks and cranking that over, I figured it was time to go ahead and bite the bullet and buy the new solenoid. So yep, I'm gonna get to work and we'll see what happens. I've got everything disconnected, got the fuses pulled out from here, and the solenoid is disconnected. This is all one piece. There's no bolt in the back, so you're competing with space with the exhaust here, and the best way I found to reach this is to use a deep well socket on a 1/4-inch drive, and just take my time and just give her a little crank at a time. So that is for this top one here. Okay, for the bottom one I used the 10mm shallow socket after I loosened it up with a box end wrench first. I've also discovered that if you drop your ratchet under the motor, it really sucks fishing it out. We get to this part here, and I thought this would be nice and easy, but no, it wasn't as easy as I'd hoped it would be. And I ended up getting a nice little slice on the side of my finger, for which I'd like to thank the electrical tape for keeping the blood in. And this is also a 10mm nut. I used the, not this, that did not work because, well, it was a little too thick. The walls were a little too thick, so I just used a little adapter that I have here and the 10mm shallow socket again. And yeah, and I would also really like to note that this one here is the one that goes to the battery in case I forget and have to watch my video, and that it is setting in this position attached to that bracket, so that way I can remember how to put everything back together, and you can too if you're watching this. Here is a side-by-side of the old one and the new one. Looks like the new one's a little bit taller, which should take away some of the space and make putting everything back together just that much more fun. And I'm going to take this guy and yeah, we're going to go ahead and lube him up. We got some super lube synthetic grease here, and yep, we'll get everything back in the hole. All right, we got both those bad boys on. Just wanted to show you real quick that you really got to push that socket in there to really get down on top of the nut there. And then I filled this one with the that super lube as dielectric grease. I'm gonna do the same thing with that. I want to pack it and then clamp it off, and then we'll have fun getting the other two nuts and washers on. Hooray. The thing we're doing is we're going to take this off. This button's sticking a little bit. I'm just going to take this off of here, put a little lube around there. Hopefully that'll help make that spring back a little bit better. But there's just a little screw right underneath there that you can't see because it's down there. And once you do that, you can kind of kick the bottom out and pull up on it, because you have these little tabs that are hooked in right here. So you kind of want to lift up, out, and up on that. And then all your little push buttons are sitting right there. All right, just got the shallow 10mm, tightening everything back up here. We're on the top one right now. This is going nice and easy. I'm wondering when I started if I should have just used that shallow 10mm, just like this. Huh. Well, I guess I'll know if I ever have to do this again. And for the bottom, found the best way was just this shallow socket 10mm, just to get it on there. I reach over the top with my left hand and hold it in place while I ratchet with the right hand. And it's also good to get these wires out of your way and in the right spot whenever you're doing those. But went on much, much easier than it did taking the other one off. But that might just be because this is the first time I've ever done anything on a jet ski, and certainly my first time changing the solenoid out on this thing. And I think all we got to do is plug everything back together the way we found it, and yeah, try to fire it up. That would be good. So let's see how this works, huh? Shall we? All right. All that stuff is plugged back in, and let's get the key out. Plug that in. Oh, shit. I gotta connect the battery. All right, battery connected. Let's put that in. It does what it's supposed to, and come on now. All right, very good.